Alright, what we're doing today is going to repair this Corsair Glaive mouse. It has the infamous double click. When you click it once, it clicks twice. And usually with a mouse, that means that your micro switches inside your mouse have gotten dirty or corroded. So we're gonna take this thing apart and switch out the micro switches, and that should solve our double clicking issue. What's cool about these mice, the Corsair, is I really like how there's different thumb rests that you can switch out and put there, which is actually pretty neat. But there's quite a few things I don't like about this mouse. I do not like the scroll wheel at all. But I figured we'd get it, try to get it repaired. And usually with the mouse, to take it apart, you have to take the skates off. And honestly, that's probably the hardest part about this whole thing, is taking the skates off the mouse without damaging them. With some popular mouse, like the G502, the Logitechs, there's usually replacement skates that you can buy that are really cheap, but with some mice, I don't know. With some mice, you cannot find replacement skates, and if you bend these up a little bit, it'll like catch on your mouse pad and be really annoying to use. So you have to be really careful taking these skates off. But besides that, they're usually pretty easy to take apart. I've never taken apart this particular mouse before, but we'll see what happens. And tweezer's probably not the best tool to use if I don't want to bend my skates. That should glue back down all right. And 2 screws right there. I'm sure there's more on the other side. Yeah, 2 more over there. I'm sure there's a couple under these ones. I'm guessing there's probably not under this one too, but we won't know unless we take it off, so... Nope. Okay. Well, we got the skates off, and I'm pretty sure we can reuse them. So we'll go ahead and unscrew these screws and see what happens. Well, the back's loose, but it's just held on by what looks to be a couple clips right here. And then we can disassemble the top. And so right here are the switches we need to get to. They still feel good, but I'm sure if you wanted to, you could really just go this far and clean out the switch, maybe press it down and spray some contact cleaner in there, and that would probably work for a while. But if you're gonna go this far, you might as well just replace the switches, because they're pretty cheap, and you know it will be fixed then. It's really weird, they use two types of switches. This is a Kale switch, and this is an Omron. These two are. It looks like these buttons are held in by two screws. Probably should have taken the buttons out first before we tried to and it looks like there's 3 buttons, or 3 screws holding the buttons in. In order to get these little buttons out, there's a little tab right here that you have to press in. Here, let's see if I can zoom in and show it to you. So it's these 2 tabs right here. You gotta press these tabs out. You press that out and it allows the button to pop up. This one and this one. Then we should be able to get this PCB out. Oh, and that just sits in there. It looks like that goes through the circuit board and connects to here. That's pretty nifty to be able to just lift that out of there. And then, oh yeah, look at all that dirt in there. See, that's why these glaives, that's why they get the double click issue a lot, is because look at all the junk inside of there. The top buttons just have such wide gaps that so much dirt and junk can get down in here and into the switches, which is not a very good design. And these new switches I got, these have like, they're supposed to be dust proof, and they have like a little plastic or rubber cap on the inside that should keep dust out. So hopefully these little switches should be a little better than these switches. So we'll go ahead and continue. I'll try to keep you guys zoomed in at least that far. And so I'm assuming we just take this PCB out now. Looks like there's just 3 screws for the main PCB, here, here, and here underneath that foam piece. Before we take the PCB out, we might as well disconnect the USB cable if we can. There's that, and then there's this little ribbon cable, which I do not know what this little PCB is for. We'll go ahead and take that out. And then the whole PCB should and there's our prize right here. I am curious what this little... Oh, this is the LED, RGB LED right here. That's what this is. I thought that was right here, but this says RGB on it, so... Alright, we can put this aside for now and concentrate on our main PCB. And we will be replacing these two switches. Like I said earlier, you could probably get away with just cleaning these switches. I'm sure it would help for a while, but the problem will come back eventually. At least I think it will. I think it's best just to replace these. But if you don't know how to solder, you could just clean them. But I recommend learning how to solder. It's a very useful skill. So go ahead and turn on the soldering iron. We'll grab our little helping hands. And this is our main. We'll take care of the main one first because that's the biggest. That's the biggest concern. Maybe you can zoom you guys in a little bit more. Put a little bit of flux on each one of these pads. And in order to help us get these desoldered cleanly, we'll add a little bit of leaded solder. And take our tweezers, lift that up a little higher. Looks like I might have gotten this PCB a little bit hot, but should be alright. Pads are still intact. We'll go ahead and move on to the other side. Man, this solder wick that I'm using really does suck. I shouldn't have got the cheap solder wick. Alright, we're gonna try hot air with this this one. It wasn't that much better. Man, they use really high temperature non-leaded solder. It makes it really tough to get it off that little tiny PCB. Well, we got it. Well, we almost got it. We just got to clean out these holes and then we should be good to go. I think we may have done better just using the soldering iron, but this white PCB discolors pretty easily, I guess. And that lead-free high-temp solder doesn't make it easy, but we got it. No damaged pads. Alright. Next step, all we should have to be able to do is stick these new switches in. See if we can get both of them on there at the same time. And this is the beauty of the little helping hand. It can help quite a bit in situations like this. You got to make sure you get these switches, you got to get them flush straight down with the PCB on both sides. It'd probably be better just to do one side at a time, but I think with this little helping hand I should be able to clamp both sides down. And then we will solder 2 of each of these, and then we can take the helping hand away. Clean our tip. Make sure we have solid connections. Make sure we're flush, which we seem to be. And then finish the other 2 solder joints. Inspect our work. Clean our work. You want to be careful with the flux too. You don't want to put so much on that it gets into your switch, because that would ruin your day. You'd have to replace the switch again, because I'm sure you would have a heck of a time trying to clean flux out the inside of a micro switch. Use the clean end of the Q-tip and just wipe the edges, just so if there's any flux on the edges, it's gone. Can turn off our soldering iron now. And we have replaced our micro switches. We did use leaded solder, so if we ever have to replace these again for some reason, they should come back off a lot easier this time, instead of like this high temperature lead-free solder that they used. That it won't have to be so hot to melt to come off next time, so we shouldn't have a problem messing up the PCBs anymore. Which they're not messed up, they're just slightly discolored, which is not a huge issue, but it is still a thing. We'll go ahead and trim off this extra. So it's not so long, won't cause an issue. Go ahead and clean our area just a little bit. And now we are free to reassemble if we can remember how everything goes. We'll try. I think I do, but we'll find out, won't we? Alright, so actually before we put this back together, we'll set this aside for a second and we will clean this guy out, just so if you have to take this guy out for some reason, he is held in by this clip right here. Just right here, just how the buttons were held in. Just push it out. I'm sure you can see. We will set that guy aside for a second, and we will try to clean the junk out of here. See, look, it's pretty nasty in there. Alright, I think that should be clean enough. Looks like our strain relief fell out. Alright, now we can reassemble. So I guess we should probably start with the little PCB again, which just slides back down into its slot right here. Just like that. Push it down till it clicks, and then we can put our repaired PCB in. Should just drop right back in. Can push our USB cable back down into position. We will press the cable back down to where it was. I think this was on. We'll just push it right back down there around this little post. We will put our ribbon cable back into its slot. Just like that. Can put our, oh, not quite yet. We need to put our screws back in first. There. And there. And one right under the main. And then now we can put our foam piece back in. What you could do, this PCB goes in next, but what you could do, since you have the mouse apart already, is clean this encoder. This encoder is what makes your mouse scroll, your mouse wheel scroll. If you're having issues with scrolling, like it double scrolls or scrolls up and down when you're just scrolling down, you can clean this encoder, and that will help. Just because my scroll wheel is fine, but just because I have it apart, I am going to spray a little bit of cleaner into the scroll wheel, just to clean it out a bit. And that should be good. That should at least help. Not that anything was wrong with it, but now we should be able to plug this guy right back in. These things need to go into there, which is actually kind of tricky because you can't see what you're doing. I wish this thing was on the bottom because it would help guide those pins into the slot. There we go, I believe we got it. Yep, there I can see him right there, nice and flush. And this will be the next set of 3 screws. 1, 2. Oh, don't want to lose your screws. Also, don't want to have loose screws. Alright, so we got that taken care of. Now we should probably put our buttons back in, and it looks like this button goes first because this one needs to go on top of that one because of the screw hole. And I'm assuming you just, yep, you just press it down till this clip snaps in place. There we go. This mouse is actually pretty good to work on. You can take it apart really easily. Besides the skates, I wish you didn't have to take the skates off to take it apart, but other than that, it's not bad. Oh, you know what? We forgot this guy. Damn it. Alright, we're gonna have to backtrack a little bit. So bear with me. Speed this part up if I have to. Well, you can take this mouse apart a lot quicker when you know where everything goes. Oh, that's must be a reset button. Okay, probably didn't really need to have that, but probably a good thing to have. That's a button. That's where the button membrane goes, and it's for a hole right there. Must be a reset button. But we got it. We got it in. I didn't want to leave it out, so we can go ahead and throw this back together. Right there, both working. And 3 screws for these guys. Whoa! Oh, that's the magnet for the side thumb rest. That might be kind of tricky because that magnet's there. We'll go ahead and use the tweezers and place the screw. Then tighten. See if we can get away with nope. Place the middle screw. Can't really see what's going on. Man, that magnet was even grabbing my screwdriver. It's a pretty strong magnet. Alright, last screw. Might be out of the way of the magnet. Nope, it is not. Trying to keep my big dumb head out of the way. And there we go. Alright, now you just need to close it back up. Let's make sure this guy doesn't have a bunch of dirt in him first. Alright. Whoop. You'll need to plug in this ribbon cable. Just held in by friction. Just like that. And then the front is held in by those clips. Make sure all of our buttons work, and then put the rest of our screws in. All these micro switches are a little bit louder than the other ones, but that's alright as long as they work and don't double click, which I'm sure they won't. And this glaive just really does not have a very nice mouse click to it, because you have to bend this whole plastic piece down, and there's just like quite a bit of resistance before you even get to the click. Like, it's just a really mushy feeling mouse, and it was like that even with the other switches, but at least it'll be usable now. So could go ahead and put our thumb rest back on, and all of our buttons seem to be working. So last step, we can put our skates back on, and hopefully they won't be too messed up. And that's what you don't want, is unevenness or part of your skate sticking up. If you lost all the stickiness of your skates, you could get some spray adhesive and just spray some more spray adhesive on the bottom, and then put it back on, and that should help. Or I don't know if there is replacement skates you can get for the glaive, but you can also check on like Amazon or something when you buy your micro switches, and see if you can get some replacement skates too. If you have replacement skates, you wouldn't have to worry about messing them up, and you could just rip them off, but I'm reusing mine, so I'm trying to be careful with them. I think these will still be usable. And just to recap, you do not have to take off these two front skates. You can just leave these ones on. I didn't know that, so I took them off. But I didn't know, but now you know, because I didn't know. See how that works? Alright, we will go ahead and just clean the bottom of these. And one last thing we'll do is we will just give this mouse a good wipe down. And I think we'll call that good. Got some new switches. Shouldn't double click anymore. Got it all cleaned up. Looking a little better than it did. And yeah, that's how you fix a double clicking mouse. That's how you take apart the glaive. There probably are other videos showing you a little more concisely how to take it apart, but that's just how I went about it. Figured I would film it, so yeah, didn't work, now it works. So oh, just one last thing, this is why the glaive has such infamous double clicking issues, is because of how big these gaps are and how much dust can get in there. So it just, the micro switches just can get dirty really easily because these have really big gaps for dust and dirt and hair to get into. So yeah, I don't think it's the switches themselves, although I do know Omron switches double click more often than other types of switches, but they do feel nice, but they just double click really easily. But yeah, hopefully it helped you fix your glaive or your mouse, whatever type you have. Most mice have micro switches in them like that, that if you have a double clicking issue, replacing those switches or trying cleaning them the best you can should fix it. But I do recommend replacing the switches because cleaning might work, and it might work for a while, it might work for a day, it might work for a year, but replacing them should be a permanent fix. So yeah, just figured I would show that to you guys. So thanks for watching, and take care, guys.